Coming up on the UB Football Insider Show, the Bulls have had some magical wins over the Temple Owls. We'll visit with Bulls head coach Lance Leipold and find out what they need to do to get another one on Saturday. You'll meet one of the Bulls' rising young stars, running back Jared Patterson, and we'll visit with a pair of hometown heroes. The Bulls are back home on Saturday. We'll get you ready with the UB Football Insider.
Going to hang it up. Deep shot down the far sideline. Jump ball and a catch. Back in the pocket on third and long, and he's going to get sacked again. Take the handoff. Myers throws down the middle. It's caught, and that's a Buffalo touchdown.
Well, Coach, here come the Temple Owls back here to Buffalo for a home game. This has been an interesting rivalry over the years, maybe as good a rivalry for this program over, say, the last 10 years, even before you got here, than anybody else. Is there any feeling about that from you or your players right now?
I think so. I think the people that have been in the department talk about it a lot. I think our players understand just based on recruiting areas and the overlap there sometimes. The exciting game, of course, that we had last year has just added to that and something that we feel hopefully will carry over into this year.
Is there anything that does carry over from that win? It was such a dramatic, emotional victory, maybe one of your most impressive wins of the year last year. Do you tap into any of that for the players that are still here?
Well, I think first and foremost is that you can line up and play against somebody like this, whether or not they just beat the number 121 team in the country or not, that we have the confidence that we can go toe-to-toe, just like we felt we did when we went to Penn State. But again, it's still going to come down to individual game execution, and but I think we have to have confidence off of that win there last year.
A little different wrinkle thrown into you about this game, and that the Temple Owls have a new coach, but it's a coach that you and all Bulls fans are very familiar with because it's Rod Carey, who's been the head coach, the very successful head coach at Northern Illinois. So what's the challenge for you in preparing for a team that you kind of know, a coach that you kind of know, but the two of them together for the first time?
Right. I guess if there's going to be a new coach at Temple, I guess it'd be somebody that we've played against because we have a little bit, a little bit more of a base of information of what their philosophy is, and especially that they've only played 2 games this year. One was a lopsided win. So knowing Rod, his staff, his philosophy, the film off of last year, we kind of get a down and distance idea on how they're going to line up against us, how they go about things, and but now he's got a new set of guys to work with. So it'll be interesting. He's an excellent coach, excellent team, and a great challenge for us.
The preview here of the Temple game for the UB Bulls, all part of our Town Hyundai Keys to the Game. Will you actually go back and look at Northern Illinois film from a year ago, and including your game against them to prepare for this?
Yes, we do. We include that when we call it cut-ups, down and distance situations, formation situations, all of that. We have this year's games as well as we looked at the Northern Illinois games, and I'm just like, even though we have different players and have used our personnel differently, I'm sure they're going to look at both years as well.
Well, you referenced a very impressive win for Temple last weekend over the 21st ranked Maryland Terrapins. A team that was scoring well over 50 points a game is held by Temple to just 17. So let's start by talking about Temple's defense. How impressive are they? And particularly 3 goal line stands in that game, 2 in the final 5 minutes to clinch the victory. What does that tell you?
Well, physical defense, physical front 7, much like they were last year. I know they're going to come in here with great confidence and play that way, but to make those goal line stands like they did when they needed them, I'm sure will boost their confidence more. Overall, again, they lost a couple people in the secondary, but again, an athletic group. They have great length all across the board, and but our experience up front will hopefully help neutralize some of that.
Their linebacking core, all seniors, all conference preseason players or all conference players from a year ago. Is that the heart and soul of their defense?
Yes, it is. It is, and experience, like you say, experience comes confidence, production, all those things, and we have to find a way to neutralize that.
different quarterback than you faced in that win over Temple last year. As a matter of fact, the quarterback that you will see Saturday is the one who took over literally right after that game. So tell me about Anthony Russo's had a good start to his year. What are they doing offensively?
Well, we saw a little bit of him as well last year, but more of a, I don't want to say a pro-style quarterback, but he's a bigger, taller, thicker. The other quarterback's a little bit more dual threat, but strong arm, can make all the throws to the boundary, throws down the field, and really is a threat that way. Maybe not quite as much the running threat, but we've got to find a way to get pressure on him.
So this is the final non-conference game of the year, because after this one, you will dive right into a full schedule of MAC opponents. So what are you looking to accomplish other than playing well and winning in a game that sort of signifies a little bit of a shift in the season?
Well, we have to really improve in all three areas, especially after last week's game. We have to be more productive in the kicking game in all ways. We've got to find a way not just really to exist, but to gain some yards. And really our kickoff return unit, we had penalties, we missed a couple field goals. We got to find a way to neutralize ourselves against their kicking game. Again, we're driving the ball pretty well, Paul, but we've got to find a way to finish those drives with touchdowns and not field goal attempts.
You've talked a little bit about, and we've talked about it, how young your team is. So when you have a young team, how do you approach the fact that of the three games, this is the one that may have been the most disappointing to you, the coach, to the players themselves? With a young team, how do you get them to bounce back? What's the challenge for you?
Well, you have to take each and every day, for daily improvement. That's always been the way we've gone about it. We have to learn from the mistakes of the Liberty game, but yet we have to kind of put them in the back and try to, proceed to this Temple game and get ready for conference. Some of our younger guys, or most inexperienced guys, really haven't learned the whole process yet of what we feel and what it's going to take to be a Division I player in the daily preparation. And when they learn that, we've got some talented guys, and through experience you kind of do that. And whether it be redshirt freshmen starting or newcomers in the program, we just have a little bit of that going on right now. But I'm very confident in them, and as we start heading towards conference play, I think these guys and our team will continue to improve.
All right, it's Saturday against the Temple Owls, a 3:30 kickoff here at UB Stadium. These have been our Town Hyundai keys to the game. Coach, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Coming up, sophomore running back Jarrett Patterson shares his UB football story. That's next on UB Football Insider.
Game day returns to UB Stadium on Saturday, September 21st, where the UB football team hosts the Temple Owls, presented by Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital.
Buffalo touchdown!
Game day is about so much more than just football. Before kickoff, enjoy a tailgate concert by country music star Granger Smith, along with food trucks, kid-friendly entertainment, and more. So round up your friends and family, get to UB Stadium, and cheer on the Bulls. Kickoff is at 3:30. For tickets, call 1-877-UB-THERE or visit UBBulls.com.
Welcome back to UB Football Insider. This segment is presented by CEFQ, changing lives every day.
Welcome back to the UB Football Insider Show with Lance Leipold. We're just outside the Murchie Family Fieldhouse. Last season, Bulls running back Jarrett Patterson set a school record, was the Mid-American Conference Freshman of the Year. Year number 2, he's already off to a great start. It's an amazing story how Jarrett and his twin brother James have come to Buffalo together and have emerged as two of the Bulls' best players. Let's find out more about number 26.
My name is Jarrett Patterson, number 26, running back on a UB football team.
At the 10, at the 5, still churning, and into the end zone. First career touchdown.
I grew up in PG County, Maryland. I really got introduced to football like at the age of 8, me and my twin brother James. And my mom introduced us to football, and we just liked it. They was a big influence towards me and James. Like James said, my mom ran track in high school. My dad was a football player. And from what I heard, they was good athletes. They always made us go play outside with friends. I think that what made us, us today.
Picked up by the Bulls, James Patterson.
He told me, like, from day one, like, he knew we was going to school together. He didn't really worry about that. But I'm so glad he's here with me.
Jarrett Patterson, the demoralizer, the clincher for the Buffalo touchdown.
High school, I went to St. Vincent Pallotti High School in Laurel, Maryland. I played running back. It was just something really special. I fell in love with the game. You know, I like watching Emmitt Smith highlights, Barry Sanders highlights, you can name it, and that's when I really fell in love with that position. I try to, emulate my game with all the greats, just watch what they do and what can I take from their game to bring them to my game. And I visited up here, that's when I really fell in love with it. And that's where I met Bo. I started doing my research, James Starks, Joe Licata, just name all of the UB greats that came through here. And I just really fell in love with this place. When I first met Justin Winters is in 8th grade, when I played on this all-star team, and Pallotti was recruiting me, and that's how we met, and then we had gained that relationship through them there. Brandon Oliver, Bo, but he has been nothing but a great influence, a great guy, I like how he played, like you said, same stature. I feel like we're different, but we're same stature, and I take some of his game, like some parts of his game into my game, but he has been great, we stay in contact to this day. He told me, we talked about it. He was saying, you're going to break it, you're going to be better than I was and stuff like that. I mean, I really don't, pay attention to it. He just tells me, just keep working and the rest will take care of itself. I feel like a lot of things I could improve on from last year, which I'm going to improve on this year. My goals are just MAC championship. We didn't empty the tank last year, and I feel like we got to empty the tank this year.
Well, what has Jarrett Patterson done in his second year to try to be even better than he was in his first year?
I think Jarrett's had an outstanding offseason. He dedicated himself to continue to work on strength, keeping his quickness. He's a little bit thicker body-wise, where he can take the punishment of carrying the ball 20-plus times a game. I think that's part of the maturity of what he's really taken his game to, and how he takes care of his body and how he approaches everything.
Have you noticed that now that he's no longer a surprise to opponents, that they are trying to deal with him differently, and at least so far he has responded by having 3 really good games?
I think so. I think people know now that what his talent is, really how he plays. It's still difficult because he is a make-you-miss back. I think Andy Kolnicki's done an excellent job of using Jarrett in different ways than we did a year ago, and we'll continue to expand upon those.
He has been used more as a receiver. We have seen not only the 2-back sets, but we've seen Jarrett lined up as a receiver. Was that something that he had to get better at this year? And obviously, has it been good enough that you can integrate him into the passing game?
Yes, it has, and we've really done that with a lot of our running backs. So that was a plan from spring ball on, that we're going to, in our reference of terms, is we're going to cross-train them in a lot of ways to know different spots depending on the, we see Dylan McDuffie sometimes lining up more like a tight end. We'll use Ronnie Cook and Jarrett and Kevin Marks more like receivers. So the more ways we can do it, and sometimes we'll have more of those guys on the field together.
He is one of your 5 captains, along with his twin brother James, both of them being sophomores. I think I've asked you on this show before how unusual it might be to have a sophomore as one of your captains, but what does that say about the kind of person Jarrett and James are as a group?
Well, it talks about how they're looked upon by their peers, but it talks about their maturity, how they go about it. Not just that they're both very productive football players. It's really how they go about their lives, how they approach the game, and those things. But and the thing for both, for everyone to remember, James and Jarrett are 3 years out of high school. They both waited a semester to enroll, so that maturity has also taken place in just waiting and being patient. And I think all those things, they're able to kind of help anyone in the locker room what they're going through.
Have you needed them to be more vocal? Is that part of the role of being a captain?
At times, yes, and they've embraced that, and that can be difficult sometimes, whether you're a sophomore, a senior, but sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone. And though you're a captain, we try to spread leadership throughout the program, and anyone can be a leader in a certain situation, but there are things that we've asked those guys to do, and they've accepted them and done well.
How much do you enjoy telling the story of the Patterson brothers? It has so many neat elements to it, about their togetherness, about the way you were recruited to them. I'm sure you get asked it a lot. How much do you enjoy being able to make sure people understand it?
Yeah, and there's probably some other parts of it that we haven't even fully shared yet. But it's a great story because it talks about two quality young men, what they've worked to do, how they represent their families, their high school, what they've done for our university and football program and in the early part of their career. And the story is really, just beginning, I think, and there's going to be more. And these are two young men that are going to be highly successful in whatever they choose to do.
All right, James and Jarrett, always keys to when the Bulls play well, which they are looking to do on Saturday. A home game here at UB Stadium against the Temple Owls that kicks off at 3:30. Coach, good luck Saturday.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Coming up, tight end Jake Mullinich shares what it's like to be a hometown hero. And offensive lineman Jake Fusak gives us a tour of the on-campus apartments. UB Football Insider continues in a moment.
Welcome back to UB Football Insider. This segment is presented by Town BMW, the official auto partner of UB Athletics.
Hey Buffalo sports fans, I'm Mark Allnut, Athletic Director for the University at Buffalo, and we are looking at the Western New York community to come support our Bulls. Our football team has a huge non-conference matchup this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. when they host the Temple Owls from the American Athletic Conference in a game which will air nationally on ESPNU. We are looking to pack the stands in blue and white, and also we want our fans to be loud to give our Bulls the best home field advantage possible. Our game days are so much more than just football. It's definitely an experience. We have something everyone in your family can enjoy. Before the game, catch the tailgate concert by country music star Granger Smith, as well as kid-friendly entertainment inside Stampede Square, food truck row, and so much more. Game days are more fun with family and friends, so round everyone up and get to UB Stadium on Saturday to cheer on your Bulls. For tickets, call the UB ticket office at 1-877-UB there or purchase tickets online at ubbulls.com. We'll see you there, and go Bulls.
Another reason to come out to UB Stadium is to see all the hometown heroes that are shining for the Bulls. One of them is getting a big chance lately. With some injuries at his position, Rochester native Jake Mullinich has become a very key player for the Bulls, and he is yet another Buffalo hometown hero.
My name is Jake Mullinich. I'm from Pittsford, New York. I am a redshirt junior. I play tight end and fullback, and I'm studying finance. Football is like been my life forever. So my dad's a coach, so I grew up just playing in like youth football camps for Pittsburgh youth football camps. Very first football memory has to just be out in the backyard with my brothers. Just us Mullinich boys like to get rough, so we're playing tackle in the backyard with no pads. Like when I'm 4 years old, my little brother was like 7, just beating up on me. My brother Glenn was here, so that was a really cool experience and kind of really shaped what I wanted in a college, for a college football setting. I was in 10th grade when I first came to UB to see a game, and it was surreal to me, just seeing all the people, all the fans, all the pregame stuff. I immediately wanted to be a part of something just like it. I knew UB as a home, and it was close. My older brother being here made it really easy for my parents to come see both of us. I'm excited to pick up where we left off, finish our business. We left last year with the MAC championship game, the bowl game. We're a winning team. We know the feeling of winning, and I think this season is just going to be really exciting to watch.
While Jake Mullinich's drive home is a little over an hour, Jake Fusak's is even less than that. The Bulls offensive lineman comes from Williamsville, New York, just up the road. And let's take a look at his home away from home.
How you guys doing? Jake Fusak. I play left tackle for the University of Buffalo's football team. Today I'm going to give you guys a tour of my apartment. We cleaned it up nice for you guys. I wanted this one because it was on the second floor and it had the nice view of the lake. It's nice to walk out in the morning and see that kind of stuff, So this is it. It's my roommate, Zach Lefebvre, tight end. Probably going to get drafted in the next 3 years, so he'll be able to buy me some new TVs and everything. Over there is my turtle, Yoda. He's a southern painted turtle. Got him for my birthday. So Zach and I typically sit out here, eat some food, cook dinner and get on some Fortnite, because that's just what people do these days, and we got the nice sound bar from the Dollar General Bowl, so that was a big time upgrade for the apartment, I'd say so. Over here, I would say, is the coffee station. Zach uses it more than I do, but I dabble sometimes. It's not necessarily on my top priority list. We got a pretty decently nice dishwasher. You know, the burners are really useful. Microwave's always awesome. The fridge is great. So, you know, we got a ton of cabinet space for all the, you know, food and plates and stuff. Always gonna have the rock in your apartment, you know. You get a nice little motivation for the morning, stuff like that. In here is the bathroom. 2 sinks is nice because I'm a little bit messier than Zach is, so it's, you know, keeps things nice and, you know, even, and we don't get into too many arguments and everything like that. So look over here. These are where the bedrooms are. And I kind of went a little overzealous just because, you know, I've been thinking about it for a while. So I got the lazy boy blanket over the top of it. That's the woman I'm going to marry one day. I don't know if you can tell, but I do like Star Wars. My mom got me that when I moved in. I put the LED lights behind the TV. It's 4K. There's many advantages living in, you know, South Lake Apartments. One of the biggest ones, foremost, is that it's so close to the stadium. Being so close to everything really is just convenient, and it's that much better because we're so close.
This UB Athletics facility tour is brought to you by Dockside Village Apartments. Be a part of something great at Dockside Village Apartments.
Coming up, we take a look at the game day experience at UB Stadium. UB Football Insider will be back after this.
Here at UB, we are educating the world.
This is where research and community come together.
There's no limit to what you can discover.
This is UB Football Insider, presented by ECMC, the difference between healthcare and true care.
From just outside the Murchie family fieldhouse, welcome back to the UB Football Insider Show with Lance Leipold. The Bulls are home this Saturday. It's a 3:30 kickoff against the Temple Owls. It's going to be a beautiful day here in Western New York. But coming out to see the Bulls play here at UB Stadium is so much more than just football. UB Stadium is the place to be on game day. Stampede Square opens 3 hours before kickoff, where you can enjoy tailgating and a family-friendly experience. Then join the band, cheerleaders, and dance team for the Walk to Victory at 1 o'clock, where you can catch the Bulls up close as they head into the stadium. The tailgate concert then starts at 1:30, when country music star Granger Smith takes the stage. And before you head into the stadium, grab something to eat at Food Truck Row. Be sure to round up your friends and family on game day to cheer on the Bulls. For tickets, call the UB ticket office at 1-877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com. Past games between the Bulls and the Temple Owls have featured a game-winning Hail Mary and an amazing game-winning touchdown catch. What will happen this Saturday? Well, you better get out here to UB Stadium to find out. It's a 3:30 kickoff between the Bulls and the Owls. You can hear the game on ESPN 1520. You can see the game on ESPNU, but better yet, we'll see you right here at UB Stadium.